Hello and welcome back, and in this video we are going to be creating our summary table view cell. So let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to add a new file into our views. Once again, we're going to choose Cocoa Touch class as the new file template and click next. We're going to leave the subclass of UI table view, and we're going to call this file summary table view. Let's go ahead and click next and save it inside our views folder. Once again, we are going to delete everything that Xcode has created for us because they are not relevant to us. All right, so what we're going to do basically is we are going to lay out a stack view, and UI stack view is what we're going to use to add our completed and non-completed labels. Okay, and those labels are going to be formatted with a bit of formatting, like using the emojis in a simple text. Okay, so this view is going to be really simple. Let's go ahead and first create our UI stack view programmatically. Okay, so you're going to create a lazy var stack view, UI stack view, and we will create our stack view. And let's go ahead and return this. All right, there are a few properties that we're gonna set. So let's go ahead and start with stackView.access. So access is basically the way we want to lay out our subviews inside the stack view. UI stack view itself does not have any UI, so what it does is it acts as a container for other child elements. Okay, and this is also the backend component for your SwiftUI's layout views. Okay, SwiftUI layout views uses UI stack view in the background. All right, so access defines basically whether we want to show items horizontally or vertically, and in this case we want to show items vertically, so we're going to simply choose vertical as the option. Okay, next we want to basically set the alignment, and alignment is basically how we want to align our child items inside the view. And once again, we're going to choose from the selected list, and we have center, fill, first baseline, last baseline, leading and trailing. We want to basically fill the entire stack, so we're going to simply select fill. Okay, now we're going to basically add some spacing, and we're gonna basically use UI stack views spacing using system. So basically the UI stack view will determine, based on the system on which it has been displayed, to set the spacing appropriately. All right, and then we're gonna basically set a background color, and yes, we can set the background color for UI stack view, and we're going to simply say UI color dot secondary system background color, which is going to be the secondary color, which is, in case of the dark mode, it's slightly grayish kind of color. Okay, and for the light mode is also grayish kind of color, but on the white background. All right, so one thing that we forgot that we should have done earlier is translate auto resizing mask, and we want to set it to false. So let's go ahead and do that before we forget. And we also want to make sure that the layout margin arrangement for the stack view is set to true. So stack view dot is layout margin, and this basically is going to help when laying out the child view. It's going to basically help out with the margins, and we want to actually add some padding around the child views of the stack view. That's why we're gonna set this one as true, and then we're gonna basically take and apply a directional layout margin. Now directional layout margin is an instance of NS directional edge inserts. So NS directional edge inserts, where you can define top, leading, bottom, and trailing padding that you want to provide into your stack view. Okay, so we're gonna simply add 20 points in each direction. Okay, now we want to make our make the corner of the stack view as curved. So for that, we're gonna basically reach out to the underlying CA layer, which contains a property called corner radius, and we're gonna take that corner radius and apply 20 points of corner radius onto that, which is gonna basically convert our stack view from sharp edges into a rounded rectangle edges. Okay, so we're gonna simply say stack view dot layer dot corner radius is equal to 20 points, and then we want to basically make sure that we set clips to bound to true, so anything that is outside of that bound that we have created with the corner radius is clipped and our corner radius is clearly visible. Alright, with that, our stack view is complete, and now rest of the two label views are going to be really simple, and all we'll have to do when laying out the constraints is basically we're going to lay out this stack view and not the child views. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our child views. So we're going to have completed lazy bar completed label. So we're gonna set basically a bold font for this, and this time around we are using a different variation. We are using bold system font, where all you have to do is supply a point of the size of the font, and then your text is basically displayed with that font. Now earlier in the last video we were able to set this using the font weight, so right here. So reason I was showing you font weight, because there are some other options that you can actually rely for the font weight. For font weight, for example, you can say you want semi-bold, or you want thin, ultra light, or heavy. Okay, so you can actually choose from all these options. I'm going to leave it as bold because I wanted to set this as bold, but by setting UI font dot bold system font gives you the same effect as the weight being bold. Okay, so this is another variation that you can use, and this is also defined as a static property on UI font. Okay, now let's go ahead and copy this, and we're going to create a version of this called incompleted label. Yeah, okay, so just add in, and this guy is also going to be going to have the same properties. Okay, now we are ready to set our initializer. So we're going to create our initializer. We're going to use the initializer that takes the style and reusable, and we're going to override that, but we want to make sure that we are calling super and passing on the style that we are receiving. Next, we're going to add our stack view, and take our stack view and add arranged subviews, and the first one is going to be incomplete label, and second one is going to be completed label. And for in the content view, we are going to add our stack view as the child view. Okay, and the stack view is going to have basically all the other views that we're going to use, which are basically the labels. Okay, and we've just fixed this error by adding this required init coder, which we don't have to implement. Now let's go ahead and call our let's go ahead and move this inside a function called setup view. Okay, and we're gonna create that function set up view right here, and we're gonna basically set all these properties here. Okay, now we want to make sure that our selection style for this row is also none. Okay, and we want to basically call setup constraints at the end. And this is going to be another function, all right, which is gonna set up the constraints. So we are calling init setup view, and setup view is calling setup constraints. Now constraints once again are going to be very simple. We are basically going to call our ns layout constraint dot activate, passing an array, and we are only going to add constraints for the stack view. So stack view dot leading dot constraint equal to, and we're gonna constrain this to content view dot leading with a constant of 16 points, and I'm gonna copy this for the top anchor. So you're gonna go leading top is gonna be 8 points, trailing is gonna be -16, and then last but not the least, the bottom, which is going to be -8. Okay, now we need one more function which we're going to call basically the configure function, so we can set our labels. So we're going to simply create a configure function with completed string and incompleted string values, basically passing how many are completed and how many are not. And we're gonna say completed dot completed label, okay, dot text is equal to, and we are simply going to show a checkbox and say completed like that. Okay, let's see what we are. Cannot find completed label. Completed label. Let's go ahead and fix the spelling. Okay, right, incompleted and completed label. Okay, so we should have everything ready to go. Incompleted label dot text is equal to, and we're gonna basically display an emoji of notepad here, and we're gonna say to do. And number of incompleted that has been passed in. All right, with that we have reached the end of this video, where we are now ready with both of these cells. So in this video we designed our summary cell, in the last video we designed our to-do list. Now in the next video, before we start putting these and basically wiring these up into our table view, we want to make sure that we actually have created our celebration animation view as well, which essentially is this animation view right here, which is going to play a Lottie animation. So we want to basically add a dependency of Lottie, and then we're gonna basically, and we're gonna add the dependency using Swift Package Manager, and then we're gonna create our custom view, which is gonna help us play this animation. Okay, all right, so I'll see you guys in the next video, where we're gonna be creating this celebration animation view. Thank you.